like a nice small setting where we could all have conversations with each other. It's great. And so one of the things that really came up for me after this weekend was kind of just connections, right? I went to Portland and I'm working on like a rebrand. And the woman, Tracy, that I was working with was asking like, how do I describe clients and how do I describe the people and everything else? And I said, well, we really don't have clients. And then she's like, looked at me very dumbfounded. And she goes, well, what do you have? I said, we have community members, right? Everyone here is part of a community. They're not a client. And there's this whole concept of like what coaching really is, right? Some people coach for compliance. We coach for success. It's like, what's the difference? You know, you think of compliance, it's just like the word sounds icky. It's like, you know, telling and then selling that concept. And then when you think about success, it's about the whole individual, right? And when we think about community, being part of a community is like exciting, it's impactful, right? And there's real power that can come out of that. And the real power is what you choose to make of your relationships with each other. So Robert had a great email today that talked about building an agent-to-agent network, right? So that's what we're going to focus on today. Tomorrow, we're going to do Zoom rooms. So show up and be prepared to talk to other people and actually see them. So I encourage everyone to come with their camera on tomorrow. So I'm asking you to, you know, spend 20, 30 minutes to prepare. I'd probably need a solid 30 minutes if I was going to show up somewhere, right? Because I want to look good. So I see you rolling your eyes, Deanna. So I want all of you to show up as your best selves. And we're going to talk about how actually to build a network, right? Because I find that agents are always like, wow, this is great. I want to build an agent-to-agent network, but now what do I do? Does anyone get stuck there? Some people, right? How many people are very clear on how to build an agent referral network? Anybody? Going once, going twice, sold. How many people want to get clear on building an agent referral network? All right, cool. All right, so number one, write these two words, P and P, planned and purposeful. You have to plan. You have to plan what you're going to do and be purposeful about what you do. Well, what does that really mean? I need to plan like who is my market, right? Like, what am I looking for? In the morning session, I said you should go get a big map of the United States. We all know from like that black and white compass map that's in the pitch books and everything, how many different regions compass is in. And I would make it a challenge. I'd stick a pin and I'd try to meet somebody in every area. So when we say that's being planned, right? But being purposeful, you need to be purposeful in your conversations with people. How much of a relationship can you build if you just show up somewhere and talk about yourself? Right, Holly? No. Right. So no one, what's that quote? No one, it's like they won't remember what you said. They won't remember what you did, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And if you call somebody and you listen to them and you ask them great questions and you approach every conversation, everywhere you go in life with the curiosity mindset. How curious are you when you talk to other people? Have you ever met those people that sit down and you don't even really know them and they're like, hey, how are you? Like, what do you do? Where are you from? And like, oh, that's really interesting. So you like doing these things. What else do you like to do about that? But it doesn't sound like, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? Why do you do it? Right? It's not interrogative. There's a difference between interrogating someone and being annoying and being curious and thoughtful. So in building an agent relationship, when you're talking to people, you want to be very curious. Because if you approach it with this mindset of, I'm here to build a referral relationship, that's very transactional. It doesn't feel very community-y. It doesn't feel very relationship-y. It doesn't, quite frankly, it feels icky. Could you imagine just going on a date and saying like, hey, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to get to know you, but that's, you know, but I'm here for the end in mind. That's not really how relationships work. That would be more like a paid service that somebody's looking for. And if you're building a referral relationship, it is not a paid service. who's ever had someone talk to them and think the conversation goes well, and then all of a sudden they ask you for something, and then you start questioning every authentic thing they've done, right? We have people ask us for stuff every day. I wrote someone an email the other day after they had like this long email to me. And I was like, gee, man, can you bring me out for like a coffee, a breakfast, or, hey, how are you? Can I get to know you before you send somebody this? Don't do that. You got to remember, the people that you're here with are people that you're showing up with every day. You guys are learning the same things. You're hearing the same things. You're applying the same things. Between this and the morning session, there are hundreds of people that you can reach out to and get to know. But you need to be planned about it. This needs to be part of your business plan. Because the way this works is, here's my little coffee pod. Whoever this coffee pod knows, you know, right? This is how you multiply networks. Because look, if I have this pod right here, and then I have this pod right here, and then I have this pod right here, over time, the more I build my relationship with each pod, the more likely they are to think of me. But if you don't take time to develop these relationships, you'll never have a network. So who here has had a conversation to build a relationship? Matt, a couple of them. So all right, so I'm going to put two of you, I'm going to unmute two of you, right? And we'll do this American Idol style. We're going to grade you guys on, one's the initiator and the other one's the agent. So raise your hand if you want to be the initiator. Anybody? Matt, you're always a solid volunteer. All right. Okay, Holly, where'd Holly go? Okay, so you're going to be unmute, another solid volunteer. All right, so Matt, you can unmute yourself. Holly, you can unmute yourself. So Matt, you're going to reach out to Holly. You're going to apply the curiosity mindset. You have about 5 minutes to just talk with her, and let's see how well you do in this conversation. Remember, the objective is to learn about her as much as possible, to either the point where you ever have someone ask you so much, it kind of gets uncomfortable, like, hey, how can I help you, right? That's how you know this is going to get to a good place. So let's see how authentic this conversation is. We're going to poll you in the chat box after, so no pressure, and go for it.
Right on. Hey, Holly, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing, Matt? Thanks for reaching out.
Oh, good. Yeah, fantastic. My pleasure. I'm sitting here. It's a windy day here in Los Angeles. I'm thinking of places to go, and I was just looking up different agents, and I saw you pop up, and I wanted to learn more about you and your area and what you're up to. How's business been for you lately?
You know what? Business has been good. It's kind of a crazy market, as I assume that it probably is for you as well. I've been focusing a lot on finding inventory for buyers right now. So it's been a little bit nutty. What have you been seeing in LA?
Kind of the same. So, inventory is tight for sure. But when you say inventory is tight on your end, what does that look like for you?
Well, it kind of depends on the price range, but we're seeing sometimes upwards of 30 to 40 offers on a property. So just really not only educating our clients, but being there for moral support, because we've had some instances where we've had some heartbreak recently, and it's been tough. So I feel like we've been a little bit of counselor for them as well.
Absolutely. No, I can totally relate to that. So what are you doing with your buyers to help them find what they're looking for? Are you looking for more inventory? Are you reaching out to potential sellers?
We're reaching out to potential sellers. We're networking within our Compass network. And I've been on Workplace a fair amount. And I don't know about you, but that I found that to be helpful. And I've been able to connect with agents from around the country, and I think that I've been able to get a few more listings out of it, which has been beneficial. But it's also helped me to establish a relationship with some agents across the country and find out a little bit more about what they're looking for and learn more about them. So next step is to send out a video. I think I'm going to try and do it on LinkedIn to see if I can't generate some more referrals that I can send out, and then I'll be able to send those to agents across the country then too. So, what about you?
Wow,
What
you're
have
a
you
rock
been seeing?
star. You're
Well,
creative.
not quite yet, but I'm
No,
trying.
that's fantastic. That's such a creative idea. So kudos to you. And that's something we should all be doing. I'm going to make a note of that. That's very inspiring. So when you talk about making a video, are you looking to help your clients find homes in other states? Are you talking about locally or are you talking nationally?
I'm talking nationally. So I want to be able to use more of that business platform
Hmm.
of social media to tap into people that are potentially going to move. Maybe they're in Minnesota, maybe they're in California or in Seattle or something like that, and they want to move to an area that maybe it's a little bit more cost effective or closer to family, and I may not be able to help them here in Minnesota, but I might be able to connect them with an agent across the country. I don't know if you saw that email from Robert this morning, but that was that just resonated with me. I thought, okay, so that's a way that I can, help others, because I'm always worried about, I can maybe get referrals here, but I want to be able to give back to others because I think that's, going to be in everyone's best interest at Compass. So,
I love that. I absolutely love that. And I tell you what, it's great to connect right now. Let's
okay.
follow up in a week. I'd love to learn more about your local market, what you can offer to people
Okay.
looking into your market. I'd love to be able to tell you more about what we do here in Los Angeles. If
Yes.
there's any value we could provide for you, even if it's just some data to share with your clients. But ideally,
Okay.
it'd be great to learn more about you and your market because it's new to me. So I'd love to be able to send business your way.
Yeah, for sure. No, I would love that. Do you work in like second homes, or are you working in kind of primary residences, or tell me a little bit more about kind of your
Time.
sweet spot.
Time.
All right.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right.
Do
So
we do
some
okay?
I'm gonna
We did
reserve my
great.
comments. I want to see what everyone else thought.
All right. I can't see any of the comments here because I'm on
I'll
my
read them
phone.
to you. Some don't be shy. Wow, old school New York Yankees hat. What's up?
All right. Let me see if I
I
can
think
flip.
it was great from what I heard. I need to start playing the Jeopardy music. I see people typing. Couple more comments. Well done. Very natural conversation. One more. It was very warm. It was very authentic. It was very smooth. The only thing, Matt, I would have left back. It was very slick though, the way that you brought up your market. I will give you that. And so like there's a difference, right? Your conversation was listening. You listen to respond versus listening to learn, because that's the way that the conversation went, right? So if you're doing this again, hey, so what I hear, that's really exciting. So you love doing those things, and out of those things, how does that make you feel? Sometimes like as opposed to volleying, you just want to keep it on their side, right? And in the end, it's like if depending on her personality, right? Holly's very much like a doer, and she's not like, she direct asks for referrals. So when you brought up your market, it'd be fine, right? But there are other people here that if you brought that up in the end, they would question the whole interaction. It's like, oh, he just brought it up to think about my market in the end. And
Right.
if the data could so don't end with anything other than authenticity, right? Because by the time you schedule a follow-up, like you get to know her better about the videos, right? You could schedule another follow-up in 30 days and speak with them about that. And eventually she will ask you for the market, or by the third date, you can volunteer that information. Holly, how'd that feel for you?
Am I still on, or?
You're here. We can see you. We can hear you.
Okay.
How was the conversation for you from your end? Do we lose you? I thought it felt, you don't have to type, you can talk. You're still unmuted.
Oh, jeez. I thought it felt good. It felt natural. I felt like, okay, this is somebody I can continue having conversations with, and it would grow. I had an interesting conversation yesterday, and it was another Compass agent, but it felt like it was more like I was being grilled, and it didn't feel quite as good. So this felt nice, and it felt conversational. Like, okay, we want to try and help each other out. That's how it felt to me.
Yep. So this is perfect. Now, I encourage you all to reach out to people and have these kinds of interactions every day. You should make it a goal to get to know every person here, because they'll all share with you. For whatever reason, the people that show up, that don't want to do things, that complain all the time, they don't make their way here. I quite frankly believe because they would not want to hear what I have to say every day. Right? If you don't like to be positive and happy in business and life, I would make you sick. True story. This kind of feedback that I hear is like, there's no way you can F and be this happy all the time. It's like, you should see what I'm like at 4:45 in the morning when I wake up. I'd really make you sick. So reach out to people. The other part is the Agent Finder app, right? Robert referred to that today. That thing is a gold mine for helping you also market your listings and finding homes. So look, you can look at people that are selling in a certain price point in a certain area, right? If you know that's where your clients are going, whether they're at Compass or at other places, agent relationships are really important. Remember, 80 to 90% of properties are co-broked. So having a kick-ass agent network is really important, right? I could call another agent from another place and say, hey, it's Deanna from Compass. How are you? You know, I see you sell a lot of homes in this area, and I have buyers looking for properties. You know, do you have any off-market listings or properties that are coming to the market soon that I could share with them? Is that really a simple conversation to have? Oh, okay, great. Like, would you mind adding me to your email list if you do have stuff coming up? And that's it. Okay, great. Thanks. See you later. Do you think now you've become memorable to other agents? And if you did this enough time, people would start reaching out to you and be like, hey, I have a property before it's coming on the market. Would you want to bring your clients by? Or if you did a negotiation with one of these people and you're friendly and proactive like that, don't you think you'd have better rapport with them? Absolutely. So every time you have these conversations, you need to plan a follow-up, right? So after you, if you're the initiator, you want to send an email and thank them for their time. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. From listening, or what I heard is you're really passionate about A, B, C, and D. People love to be heard. People love to be felt understood. People love to be connected with. People love other people that give a shit about them, right? This is the opportunity in this, because these are relationships you're building. Number two, you should follow them on social media. And if you had a good conversation, make sure you like 10 of their things and let them know. Be like, hey, Deanna, I'm going to follow you on social, but because of Instagram, the only way I'm going to see your stuff is if I like a bunch of them, drop a couple comments. So don't think I'm some weird stalker. Because if not, and you don't say that, and all of a sudden, like if you're a male reaching out to a female or vice versa, it can get kind of weird with people, right? All of a sudden, if like I just followed you and I like 15 of your posts and I started commenting on all these things, you're going to think like, whoa, like this is intense. So let people know that you have to do that. If not, you're never going to see it in the newsfeed. Like, hey, you know, I found what you did very engaging with marketing. You know, I'd love to follow you online. What's your Instagram handle? Oh, it's like, you know, at Chirag Shah Coaching. Great. Just, you know, just to kind of put this out there. The only way I could see it if I like a bunch of your posts and comment on them, because we're new to following each other. And that's the way Instagram works. I don't want to like freak you out and make you think I'm crazy. And then they'll just laugh and they'll talk a little bit of how stupid Instagram is. And then you can all move on. Are these all simple things that you can all do? Do any of these cost you money? No. These are all the things you get here for free. So you need to plan how you're going to do this every single week. This needs to be part of your business plan. The amount of money that agents are making here through agent-to-agent referrals is ridiculous. And in a market where you have limited inventory, reaching out to agents is one of the best ways to find inventory. I do Instagram follow-up with listing agents when we offers to create relationships. What do you mean by that? Tell me more, Matt. Oops, there you go.
So when we write an offer, and even beforehand, we always comment or always like, follow, comment, send a DM on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. And like you said, we don't just do it as a ghost. We do it and let them know on text as well and email, say, hey, we just followed you, send our profile. Here's a follow me back. Let's love to. And then we pick something out like, oh, I saw, just like you're saying, Chirag, like whatever, it's a dog or a trip or anything to create some connection and let them see who you are besides a buyer's agent.
Mhm. Look, it's about being a person, right? And if you think about this, listing agents, everyone's like, oh, it's great to have listings. But the part that no one talks about, you know how overwhelming it is being a listing agent where you have to manage relationships with other agents. You get 25 offers and 24 people are going to be pissed off at you. Let's not talk about the people. Like, oh, it's so great being a listing agent. Really, it's also being great being a celebrity, but you're not going to talk about how you're like harassed every aspect of everywhere you go in your life. You can't have a life. Right? So if you reach out to a listing agent and said, hey, just want to follow you. Thank you for the showing. I know it's I know while everyone glorifies having listings, I can imagine how challenging it could be having to deal with so many people and having to deliver bad news. So I look forward to the opportunity of working together and hopefully my clients can win, win an offer, whatever it is. But you got to know people's personality types, right? You get some like introverted financial person. I'm like, I don't care. I have no emotions. So it's not going to matter to me anyway. David says he's been writing handwritten notes to other agents after both winning and losing buy side multiple offers. I want them to remember me for the next time, so I think of them when they're doing something similar. I think that's very thoughtful. You have no idea what's going on, right? I had a client tell me that he's lost out on listings because people literally are waiving like their entire commissions, and that makes the offers lopsided. It'd be nice if somebody wrote him a note, right? So these are all things to think about. So in the morning session, a couple people created a group. We'll share those names with you in the chat right now if anyone wants to reach out to them. One was on the West Coast, one was on the East Coast. Actually, I'll put the names in here. It was Susan Getz and who's the other one? I'm going to give you one more name. Email these two people and they'll reach out to you. They're just going to set up a group that's just based on people meeting each other here. And then once the group is formed, then they have the first meeting. We'll create a space in our forum on our platform to do it. And then you could all start meeting each other. Brooke, who's the other person? I think it's with a K. Well, we have one name, so you could email her and she'll add the other person in. So Susan.Getz and just reach out to her. And it doesn't matter where you're from. There are plenty of people. There's thousands of agents in every market here at Compass. People connect with you for who you are and what you have to offer. And just start to get to have conversations, right? Two people could be in the same market and service very different clients. And that's all for today. We want to make sure that tomorrow is focused on networking. So please show up with your camera on, your hair did, and ready to go. I know we've done videos and stuff. We really want to spend time tomorrow focused on you all getting to build some new relationships with each other, right? Another good thing to note is like, what is your super skill and what do you need help with, right? So if you're in these networking groups, like, and you have a spreadsheet of names, it'd be cool if you had everyone's super skill. And then you also wrote down what you need help with, because then you can know where you can contribute to others and who could also help you. This is all about building this, again, planned and purposeful. So Brooke's going to take the last couple of minutes and just show everyone where the forum is. And Lynn, you're coming to Boston. That's good. We'll have 4 for those of you coming to Boston. We'll be updating our website today. We're going to have 4 networking Zoom workshops with all the attendees. We have some awesome guests that will be hosting, that will be featured on these sessions, and also telling us how they built their networks, how they threw parties. I haven't firmed up all the dates for all those workshops yet, so you have to wait for those to come. But one of the people I have is an influencer that has 340,000 people on his page, and brand deals with Saks Fifth Avenue, Maserati, Vital Proteins. He's been on the cover of Men's Health magazine several times. So I've gotten some cool guests to come share with us how they've grown and built their networks from nothing. So we look forward to seeing everybody in Boston who's coming. Regardless if you're not coming, you have an opportunity still within this community to reach out to people every day. So Brooke will share with you where the forum is and where you can go engage with people. Love you all, and I shall see you tomorrow for Zoom dating. We're all going to date each other through Zoom in these networking sessions. So please come with your camera on. Bye, everybody.
All right, I'm going to quickly share. Can I get a thumbs